Hey, it's MoeMovies, and I'm here to review The Avengers. And I saw it in 3D. Ooh. Ah. You know what? I forgot to dispose of these 3D glasses in the recycle bin. Does that make me an outlaw? Well, back to the review of the movie. The Avengers. The Avengers is basically an alien invasion movie with superheroes saving the Earth. But you probably already knew that. Now, I thought the movie was pretty geektastic, and the popular consensus is that if you're even more of a geek than I am, and you actually read every single Thor comic book, every Captain America comic book that ever came out, then you might even have a geekgasm. So I'm warning you ahead of time because it could be a messy experience for you. Okay. Now, I was really pleasantly surprised by Tom Hiddleston's performance as Loki, leads the alien invasion. He's the main villain in this movie. I was surprised because I saw him in Thor, and in that movie I thought he was kind of a pussy. So when I heard that he was going to be the headlining villain in this movie, I had my doubts. I was a little worried, but he's definitely a lot more menacing. He brings his A game. He's really good in his performance, and I liked him. I liked him in this movie. I also liked Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow because we really didn't get to learn much about her in Iron Man 2. They just kind of threw her at us, and she looked really hot in that outfit, and she did some really cool stunts and stuff, but we really didn't get to know anything about her. And this movie gives her more of a backstory, and she has a lot more to do. She plays a much more important part. And this movie also makes the best use of the Hulk. Although I did like the last Hulk movie, and I thought Ed Norton was a good Bruce Banner. I was really surprised by Mark Ruffalo's performance as the Hulk. Well, not as the Hulk, as Bruce Banner, because the Hulk is all CGI. But I just couldn't picture him really as Bruce Banner, but he really pulls it off, and brings the human element to the Hulk, and really grounds the character. And but the big surprise is towards the end with what they do with the Hulk. I mean, you haven't seen anything like this before. I mean, they haven't done anything like this with the Hulk before, in the previous two Hulk movies. So that was what they did with him was really cool. Now, Joss Whedon is directed this movie, and he also was a writer on this movie, and he's the master of the ensemble. And usually in a movie where you got lots of characters and you gotta balance lots of characters, usually they kind of suck because you end up with a lot of one-dimensional characters. Like in all the superhero movies, that's like every sequel they have to add like another villain and another characters, and but they never really explain them or flesh them out. But with Josh's experience on Buffy and Angel, with Buffy, the show was about Buffy, but it was also about her friends and her enemies because all these characters around her helped define her. Same thing with Angel and the cast of characters around him. They all had stories. There were all stories to tell about all these people. And that's much easier to do on episodic television than it is to do in a 2.5 hour movie. But if any man could pull it off, it's Joss Whedon. He does a really good job of giving all the characters in the movie, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, the Black Widow, Hawkeye, the Hulk, space to breathe, and he gives them their due respect and gives them room for them to really shine. Of course, Robert Downey Jr. is still the most charismatic of the bunch, but you won't be disappointed by what he's done with all the other characters. And I think they're all really well drawn. And although I won't call this the best superhero movie, ever made. Um, you know, there were times where it felt kind of long, where where I started kind of losing a little bit of interest here and there, but the movie always brought me back, pulled me back in, and the ending was really awesome. The big long action set piece at the end with the alien invasion and stuff, the way that the stunts were choreographed, and all the cool CGI effects, and the characters battling it out with these aliens. I don't know. It was just awesome. And another thing I like about Josh is that he really knows how to put humor. He has a sense of humor about things. So he doesn't take the movie. He takes the movie seriously, but not dead seriously, which is a good thing, because if it was taken dead seriously, the movie would be completely ridiculous. And it is a little bit ridiculous, and he acknowledges that, and he has fun with witty banter between the characters. Because at first the characters don't really get along. They're all from, they all got very distinct, different personalities, these superheroes. Thor, Captain America, they're an Iron Man. Captain America's from a different time, Thor's from a different universe. Tony Stark is Iron Man. He's a scientist. Basically, all his superpowers come from the suit he's invented. So it's fun watching them all clash in the beginning, but they all have to come together in the end to save the Earth. So basically, I just want to tell you that this movie, it's definitely a fun movie. And if you like superhero movies, then you should check this out. And there was stuff that I missed, even though it was 2.5 hours. And, there were parts that flew by real quick, or there were some one-line zingers I didn't quite catch. So I feel like, I want to see it again eventually. Not like tomorrow, but, there's a lot packed in there. Even though it's 2.5 hours, there's a lot to this movie. And that's both a blessing and it's both kind of a curse, because sometimes it did feel like a 2.5 hour movie. Other times it didn't. But overall, I thought it was a very effective superhero movie. And I think if you like the superhero genre and you've seen these other movies, like the Iron Man movies, Captain America, Thor, then you should definitely see this. This is a lot of fun. They got the right man for the job. So check it out if you haven't already. But I bet most of you have already. Well, till next time, till my next MoeMovies review, you guys have fun at the movies. And hopefully the feds don't come knocking on my door, like asking to retrieve these 3D glasses from me that I took from the theater. I'm such a criminal. Well, over and out, and I'll see you next time on my next review.